Is it live? Stream 64. How to develop. Developing. We're active. So this is what is it? Skills and knowledge? I guess so. And I don't need this. I will attend EAGX Nordics next month, and for that you need to register, kind of confirm that you're going. I thought, okay, why not? I'm very, very certain I will attend it. But there was a question or a checkbox whether I want to volunteer. Before applying, there was also checkbox. I didn't check it because I thought I would need to be there before the event, but no, there are some online what is the term? Preparation, kind of training, where they're going to go through how everything works, what are people's roles probably, and so on. I was gonna register, then I checked the checkbox that, hey, why not? I want to, or I'm considering the operations manager, operations guy to be one choice for my future job, and volunteering, taking responsibilities in events is one very good way to gain experience. And also it said there in the parentheses that everyone who considers them or considers operations as a career should really consider this. And yeah, I can't ignore that. But then there were questions: how much do I have experience? And then what would I want to apply for? There are different roles. Then I quit it. One example is one role I could have be during speeches, talks. I could be the one who introduces the speaker. That, hey everyone, next we have this awesome guy going to give us talk about this topic. Let's give him huge applause. I started to think, and there was also checkbox for becoming kind of a manager for volunteers. Would I be interested? Because I don't have any experience, and also, more importantly, my mind doesn't work that well in social settings in general. I'm not used to taking lead, being in control. It's nothing, it's really nothing about social pressure, anxiety. No, it's just pure skill. If I'm alone, like I'm now, can I lead? Can I kind of keep my mind active? No, it's not easy. I know that, of course, I could take a lead position, that if I have people and all kind of look at me what to do, I can try to lead, and by gaining some experience it would become more natural. But right now I'm thinking about whether I could really speed this up. Instead of going the usual route to get some positions and then gain experience, and over the years, 5-10 years, I have become natural team leader, manager. What if I could do that in a week? This is also already close to this. The target for nowadays development is trying to think ahead, trying to feel that I'm fully relaxed and I'm going forward. Because otherwise my normal feeling is there's something huge in front of me. I have to grind. I have to just kind of follow the goal. I'm a follower. I'm more specifically an observer who is invisible. So of course I'm not used to taking lead, thinking ahead, considering options, actions. I have talked about this a lot, and that was my biggest reason why it has taken so long to figure out my life. Because considering options, taking or making decisions, and yet again, it's not about social pressure. Even by myself, thinking myself, I haven't been able to do that until last few years. I wanted to cover this topic a little bit today because tomorrow I will go and be away 1.5 days. Will be around people. A good opportunity to develop this. One way is to just not change my role and not make any moves or visible tries, but rather thinking about in each situations how could I have more active role. Really starting to look around and see what people do, those who manage, those who take leading positions, responsibility, serve them. That's one very easy thing. And then I can try to be more active, not just observe them, but think myself in their shoes. What if I said those words? And this topic is also very very much in my mind. Yesterday I sent the application for becoming job seeker, and there I listed some motivation towards getting more social or active leading positions. I don't have experience, really. If I know what I want, I can be active, I can be social. So networking events, I have talked about them. I love them. If I have something to show, if I have, or if there are interesting projects, interesting people, I will go to talk to them. I will be the first to talk. And it's very natural. I'm fully relaxed. It's fun. But those are one-on-one conversations. That's easy. Or in a small group, but the topic is clear. Or it's about them representing, or not, no, presenting their work. I'm just asking questions. How does this work? And what is in the future? But managing, that's another thing. In EA Helsinki Summit, there was, during the end, people were leaving, the venue was about to close. There was some left out food, and someone announced, tried to say loud that, hey, there's food here if anyone wants to take with them. Come and get. First get the juice. Or yeah. I thought there, could I even announce? Have I ever announced in English specifically? Right now, I have difficulties talking and not pausing. I'm not sure if that happens more often lately than it has happened. What's with that? But I have noticed it very well that very often when I'm using English, I'm with someone, I want to say something, I start to say it. At the mid-sentence, I stop, then I repeat one word and continue. I hesitate. I don't know how to say it, or I'm not prepared to say it. But that's one example. And even if I know what to say, there is development to do. How to deliver efficiently well. How to take my conversation skills, thinking skills to the next level. The manager role itself, or leading role, that I'm not, I don't care about that specifics. Do I know how to use some device? No, I can learn. That's the easy part, getting things right. But it's the soft, not even the soft skills, but hard skills? No. Um, acting lessons, really focusing on saying full sentences, making pauses only between sentences and not in the middle of them, like I'm doing right now. That creates confidence, but that also gives others better opportunity to give their input, continue where I left off. Can I create the plan myself? I will probably go to YouTube after this, take a look whether there are some good materials, good advice. In time, I can, of course, figure good practice plan, but Why do that? I could find better one and already made exercises. Maybe good sentences, good structure, good scenarios. Why am I struggling with this? I'm not that tired currently. I can't think ahead enough. And automatically, I want to just start talking and not think further. That's the problem. Becoming more direct. And not only how I speak, also how I think. Or those two go hand in hand. Eye contact is not relevant here. That I can do if I have the sentence I want to say. Yes. Thank you. I'm trying to think what kind of materials there could be. And I'm realizing that I might not even be interested to take a look at them. What I can do is start creating scenarios. Like that introducing next speaker. I can practice that. People practice interviews. That I don't need to practice. One-on-one conversation, that's easy. But practice something where I need to follow a script. Pitching ideas. An elevator pitch. I can't take pauses there. I can't start thinking about what to say and then ramble. It needs to come right away. I have the exact sentences in mind. I will just say them very quickly. So announcing a speaker, and then this is not related to talking, but just start preparing for taking a lead. Just thinking scenarios that there are a group of people and I'm the one who says, hey, time is, or we will start in a few minutes, and then, hey, time's up, let's begin. Who is the person who says first what to do? If I think about that, it's obvious that I have never considered I could be that person. Really. When I'm trying to find words that I was gonna use in a sentence, then I went away from this thought that I had. So yes, being the first to speak. And I started with that I can just start observing, and then what if I say them? Earlier today, I was a little bit doubting whether I can even develop this skill or change my role, like be that person who says, hey, let's do this. I have, of course, said that, hey, should we go now, or that's a question. That's very, very important here, that I'm asking people. I'm not saying, I'm not doing. If people ask me, should we go? My answer could be, I don't know, sure. I'm giving my input to them, that they make the decision. That if I see myself as a volunteer, it's so natural to think that someone comes to me, asks something I don't know, I will go ask someone else. Or I will escort them to someone who might know. I'm used to that role all the time. But hey, I don't know. Ask them. That will have to change. And of course, if I don't know, I will ask someone, but in a different way. The mindset is currently bad. So I started to think about this earlier, and doubting whether I can change. But then try to think how I look from third person. I have very little video evidence or even photo evidence of myself in events, in social settings. I take too few images in general, I want to develop that, but not now. I start to think my role, how I look, and then what I would like to be the role, more active and possibly leading. And it did look kind of natural. That I got a sense that I can see myself there. But technically, in the end, I know the steps. I would be the first to talk, or I would suggest things. How I'm able to think them, that's another thing. Like if I can't think in the moment that I currently can't do well, then it has to come from experience. Like having observed people enough, having given opportunities, the pressure to get responsibility and lead some decisions, some situations. I can practice beforehand to get to the point where it comes quite naturally. I don't need to think in that moment if I have already experienced it. How to develop this? What's the plan, roadmap? What will I put to that registration? Will I also be interested to take leading position? Or little leading the volunteers maybe, or managing. One question is, why not? Not considering I don't have experience, but why not? Why not try? I would say, I would be very clear, I have no experience, but like the thing is, if I naturally think about this, the obvious answer is no, I'm not able to. But that's because I don't know the responsibilities, the tasks. If I knew them, then it would be, hey, time is running, we have to move the next phase. Who takes responsibility of this? Or I will observe the event, see that, hey, that needs to be done, there's a task there. Or if I have a list that, hey, can you gather some volunteers and tell them this. Anything I can think of, like singular task, it's easy. So what's the difficulty here? Difficulty is feeling that I have a feeling I should know more. That's the acting, masking. I have talked about that, not in some time, but I've done that a lot. And still, I still do that. Mainly in my own mind when I think. I act thinking, which is quite bad. So what was the issue here? The issue is that thinking myself in or taking a leading position, project lead, team lead, is reaching. I don't know what's beyond that. It's not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with the idea that, hey, okay, I will take a leading position. What will I lead? Who? What is the goal? So yeah, that's the target. To feel relaxed. If someone offers a position that I wouldn't stop, like I did that, or I did with that registration. Now when I have yapped about this, talked about this, it feels obvious that yes, I can apply myself for all these difficult positions. If I could just checkbox the volunteer to give name cards at the entrance, checking in. Or I could checkbox to being the announcer. It's definitely something I haven't done, but like, what could go wrong? I go there over a month and then break down, realize I can't do this. No. Yeah, this is by far the biggest mystery, biggest bottleneck. Because this scale is needed for almost everything I want to do. Like possible job position, becoming a founder, advancing world peace, where I need to take the initiative. I need to be the active one. If I think about web development or AI tool, anything technical, it's a joke. Of course I can do that. I have always been good at that already. And then, yeah, this thing, I want to really decrease the yeah usage. I have already tried to eradicate I don't know. I think is also another very common term I use. Saying I use. Becoming more direct. That's the plan. Becoming a leader. Doing what I want, not what I need to do. Big part of this is that I don't think much because I don't want anything. My mind is just in neutral gear. I get it working when I create myself a purpose, a target. Then it goes to another mode, which is I need to do this. But there it follows. It's not leading. I'm not leading. I'm almost always following. Is there even a want? Maybe everyone does this. When I'm with many people, I don't feel that I want to say them this. At least very often. Maybe I don't think about it, enough. But I have noticed it, of course, because I have only one mode right now. I am thinking aloud. I'm not trying to say something. I'm just thinking by myself. When I'm with others, it's the same. I'm thinking aloud. That's why I don't look people into their eyes. I'm not trying to reach them. I'm trying to think myself. Can I change that? In a way, this might change naturally because I have very little need to think anymore, just my own stuff. No need to think about this reality, philosophy, psychology. Nothing to explore. Leader. Without experience, without responsibility, might be difficult, but world peace is my target. If I remember that, then that is my responsibility. Suddenly, there is need for me to become a leader in every situation. I can always use that. It doesn't matter who the people are. There is always something I can do to advance world peace. Thinking ahead. If I'm able to think one step ahead, my brain stops there and says, hey, this is enough. If I try to get to another step forward, it's difficult, really difficult. I was able to go over this leadership, management, operations stuff enough. This won't bring any new or that new development targets. Being able to think ahead has been my target already, maybe for a week. Clearly I need to do more meditation about that, but going over the scenarios, practices that I can make, being more aware that I need to really finish the sentences. I can't continue stopping mid-sentence. Observe more what others do. Think about scenarios in different ways from the third person as well. Get the mindset there. I can develop that. That is probably the way also to purely just thinking, not only talking about the actual social role changes, thinking changes as well. Being more aware of the targets, what I want to reach, why I would want to think all the time. When I explained my current state, that idea that it's so foreign for me to even think that I would be the one who makes the decisions. That if someone asks me, I don't know, I would just forward that question to someone who knows. I'm so used to that. Now I realize it better. Developing that or those roles, mindsets, that's easy. I have started to use IRAC more. it's the most beneficial if I can continue using it, especially for this. That's why I'm not going to write any notes, at least at this stage. I'm still initializing this development area. End of stream.